Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rising Stars. I'm your host, Sean Watt. This production is sponsored by Urban Eats MTL. And today, folks, we have an extremely special guest on our show. She's an award-winning producer, director, she's a filmmaker, she does chi energy classes. Without further ado, guys, I have the absolute pleasure to introduce Patricia Chica.
Hello, Sean.
Oh
it's a
my
pleasure to be
goodness.
here.
What an absolute pleasure to have you on our show. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
Yes.
So right away, I noticed the Latina accent. Where are you from?
I was born in El Salvador in Central America.
Okay.
And I came to Montreal when the Civil War struck in my homeland.
Wow.
And I came here as a war child refugee, believe it or not. So I grew up in Montreal speaking French, and now I work internationally in English in a Francophone province. So I just love the diversity of my lifestyle now.
Well, Montreal in particular is very diverse.
Yeah.
You walk around the town and you'll have so many different cultures. It's very beautiful, right?
It is.
So how did you get into filmmaking, directing? Like, how did this come to be for you? Because you just come over, right?
Yes, I was a child. I was a young child. So when I was growing up, I always loved movies and being a performer. But what I loved about it was to guide other kids on how to act and how to do this. And I came up with little sketches that I wrote, and I dressed my friends and cousins.
Good for you. I mean, that's funny, but it's good, yeah.
And then at Christmas parties or any family gathering, I brought all the kids and had all the uncles and aunties and the parents to watch us perform.
Yeah.
And that was the first audiences that I worked with, you know.
So it was like very play-esque, you know, the theater almost, like, okay.
So I always love directing actors, guiding people to become the highest potential they can.
Wow.
And when I had to decide what career to go and study in college, it was a no-brainer. It was cinema. Yeah. So at first I thought that I wanted to be an actress. Really? And then the moment I started acting in front of the camera, I realized I want to be behind that camera. Yeah. And I haven't changed my mind since then.
Yeah. Where did you end up studying for, like, you know, filmography and stuff like that?
Yeah, I studied in Cégep in Quebec, college. It's Bois de Boulogne in the cinema department. Yeah. And back then, we were still filming on Super 8 film. So it was great to really edit with the celluloid. Yeah. Wow. And then I studied in the film production department at Concordia University.
Good for you. And then, okay, so you're going through your studies, you're loving it. What did you do after graduation? How did you take that step to find work?
It was in an era where you have to be very proactive, because I lived in the suburbs in Laval. Oh, wow. And I had to take the bus and the metro to come downtown. And I just started being an intern for free. Yeah. During my summers. I was still studying at Concordia. And during the summers, I came downtown to do internships. I used to work at Mel's and, you know, different production companies. Yeah. And from there, people noticed my work ethic and my dedication, my passion and professionalism, that they kept hiring me after that.
Good for you.
So I started my casting agency when I was 18 years old.
You're so young to start and be so ambitious.
Because no one wanted to do casting in one of the productions. So they just gave me the task, you have to find actors. Yeah. And I learned casting that way. And my parents' basement became the casting agency, because back in the day, we didn't have sites or internet. It was all headshots in folders, and you have to go through every headshot, you know. So I took shelves and shelves of headshots and catalogs of actors. Yeah. And I remember when I was in my early 20s, they hired me to do a big Showtime series shot in Montreal to be the casting director. It was the Bonanno series.
Oh, really?
And I had to do about 2,000 auditions for that show. All the Italians in town, actors, non-actors, go in the street to find new talents, scouting. And it lasted months and months. And my offices were at Mel Studios.
Yeah.
The first Mel's, not the new Mel's.
Okay.
And then I had 5 people in my team that on payroll. It became so big, so massive. That's when I realized, okay, I'm really becoming a real casting agency here.
Yeah.
Is that really what I want to do for the rest of my life? I knew that I wanted to be a director.
Yeah, at heart.
I always
right?
knew that. Yeah. And I said, I'm just going to close the agency. And it was a very hard hit on my finances.
Of course.
Because it was very successful. You know, I was casting for the US, for Canada, and everything in between. Mm-hmm. And I just made that this intentional decision to close the agency and just open the opportunity for me to become a director. And 6 months later, I was directing my first professional short. Yeah. So, and it was hard financially, but it was the best decision I've ever made. But during those 8 formative years of casting, my casting journey, I learned so much about directing actors.
Wow. Because
I was the director in the room with the cameraman and the reader telling actors how to audition.
Now you're polishing your craft almost, as if you will, right?
I was learning and polishing it and testing things because I had the freedom. I was the casting director and I was playing almost the director. How can I take this script and make it better for the actor to be presentable to the director?
But also, like, from your perspective too, as a casting director, you're trying to encourage the actors to book, right? To have their best audition. So you're encouraging them and you want to try out different techniques and really it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Because at the time, maybe you're like, okay, I'm a casting director, I'm so busy. But then you took initiative to experiment and try different angles and work with the actors. So
I was having so much fun.
And that's the key.
All the best actors in Montreal, and name them, they all came into my casting room. So I had all this pool of talent to play with for 15 to 20 minutes each time. Yeah. And you know, just being surrounded by so much talent and trials and errors polished my directing skills, my acting directing skills. Yeah. And I'm so thankful for those years because I could also see what wasn't working. Yeah. How some great actors weren't booking. And I could see like it's almost like data management, like what works, what doesn't, and then you have like a science behind it, you know, like
that's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah. And some actors weren't even prepared. They just came to do the audition and they booked. And we knew straight away before they even started.
How do you know something like that?
It's the aura, it's the confidence, it's the stamina, you know. We know. It takes 6 seconds.
That's unbelievable. That's so mind-blowing, but 6 seconds is all. Yeah. Wow. So when you directed your first professional short, it's safe to say that you were fairly comfortable behind the camera. You had your storyboard, you were ready to go, right? When you received the funds to do that.
Yes, to bring in the team of professionals and to go for it and, you know. Make a film.
Yeah, exactly. So from that first professional short film, where did your journey go afterwards in between? So obviously you're not a casting director anymore, right? So you did this first short film. Then what happens after?
I went in the festival tour and my short started winning multiple awards in very important festivals. Yeah. So there's a production company started to calling me to direct music videos or commercials or television. Mm-hmm. So I worked in television for over 15 years. Wow. As a series director, as a field producer, even as a series producer.
Do you have a favorite moment when you were doing that in those 15 years? Do you have a moment where you're just like, God, I loved it so much?
Many, many moments.
Yeah.
I traveled the world. I work with big networks like National Geographic, MTV, Travel Channel, so many. But the moment I realized, okay, I manifested this.
Yeah.
As a kid, I always loved music videos and MTV. And I remember when I was 9 years old, I told myself one day I'm going to work for MTV.
Yeah.
And I was living in Montreal, so how can I be hired as a Canadian to work there? So the crazy things you do to find the opportunity to accelerate the process.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wait years before I could get a green card and move to New York, whatever. So I just found an app where you could have a New York number, and it would call my 514 number.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I went on the sites where they were announcing the jobs.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I went on the site where they were announcing the jobs, and I applied for the MTV job.
Wow.
And they called me, and they said, can you be here for the interview tomorrow at 11 a.m. in New York City?
Yeah.
And I said quickly, I had to think very quickly. I said, can we make it 1 p.m.? So I took the night bus.
Oh, yeah.
And at the train station, I changed, refreshed.
Got ready.
And did the interview. And one of the requirements was, can you edit on Final Cut Pro? And I couldn't. I didn't know how to edit on that software. And said, absolutely. Yeah. So after I left the interview, I went to B&H, which is a store in New York, and I bought the software, and I started learning it, and I got the job.
Amazing.
So I was a series producer, director for American television for a while. Yeah. And I moved to New York, and it was a great life, Yeah.
But Montreal seems like it's always been your home.
Oh, it is my home,
yes. So this is your base camp, but you'll travel elsewhere and pursue any other projects that may be on your agenda. What advice can you give to, the younger generation or our generation, to, females in particular, because, they're trying to strive in the business and have success as you have had? What advice can you give them in terms of like maybe their mental perspective or the energy? Because obviously, just listening to your story, you're a hustler, you're a go-getter. You're not going to wait for opportunities. You're going to go and make those opportunities come to you. Right? That phone call that you did to New York through the app to have that New York number. I mean, 9 times out of 10, no one's going to do that, but you did it. Yeah. Right? Because you wanted it that badly. You manifested it.
Yeah. And, it's having clarity about what you want and designing the strategy. So what you want is there. This is where I want to go. I want to be. I want to do. And then you go backwards with a strategy and you execute the strategy. So you have to be mindful, you have to be intentional, and you also have to surround yourself with the right people who have done it before, who know the strategy, the experts, to accelerate the results. Because if you don't have the formula, it's not going to happen, or it will take a long time to happen.
Like unnecessary time almost, right?
Yeah, because you're trying to figure out when somebody already has the answer. Yeah. Like somebody already has that connection that they can facilitate an introduction.
Yeah, and then it sort of speeds up that process.
Exactly. Okay. So my business model is to be that person that can help people accelerate their results.
Well, right now, I mean, you're doing what's known as with the Chi Master Energy class. Is that correct? So would you like to tell our viewers more about this class? Because you've offered for me to be a part of it, and I will be in the future. But let's tell the viewers, let's tell them what this class is all about, what they can expect, and have fun with it.
Yeah, so I have created for the past decade a workshop called the Chi Energy Masterclass or the Chi Energy Lab. And I also have a program called the Rising Star, like your show, the Rising Star program. And what I do is I bring mostly actors, also directors, writers, producers, indie filmmakers who are at the middle point of their career. So they are stuck in, they cannot go through to the next level.
Yeah.
And because there's a blockage. It could be emotional blockage, an energetic blockage, a mindset blockage, or just a blockage not having access to the resources to bring them to the next side.
Okay.
So during the workshops, we work individually and as a group in everybody's intentions.
So for example, if I was in your workshop and there's someone else in this room here, so you'd cater to, trying to get me over, but it's more personalized. So you'd say, oh, maybe your blockage is emotional, and then you'll work with me through the emotional aspects, and then the next person was, for example, physical. But then as a group, you guys have exercises?
Yes,
as well?
we have exercises that are to define with clarity what the intention is, because sometimes we think we want something, but it's not very well defined.
Okay.
So because people haven't figure out the intention behind the intention, they are chasing something that is not the right direction to take.
For them.
For them.
Right? Yeah.
And we, in the workshop, we discover individually and as a group how to remove all the blockages and rebuild the mindset and the strategy in a way that will get you there very quickly.
Yeah.
And it has to do mostly with the energetic presence you have, the resonance you carry on your nervous system, your subconscious mind, and how you carry yourself through your actions, your language, your presence, posture, your interactions.
I would assume posture.
Exactly. Yeah. So many things that come into the equation. But through the process, we also develop techniques. With the students, it's so personal, right? Yeah. Each person is different. But I teach them techniques that they can utilize to expand their creativity, their mindset, and also their energetic strategy.
Yeah.
So how to perform in an audition with the sentiment that I don't care about it and that I let go. Yeah. Because what holds actors most of the time is that they are nervous, they so badly want to book the gig, and that energy frequency of desperation or needy or I want this because I don't have it yet really creates a subtle message transmission of their performance that we can see through the lens as directors, casting directors, producers, and decision makers.
Wow.
And that 6 seconds when they enter the room, I already know the states
of what to expect almost, right?
And, it shows also the level of confidence they have and the level of attachment to the project. And who wants to be with somebody who is very needy and in desperation and wants it so badly? We want somebody who cares about it, but it's okay. They will be equally excited whether they book the gig or not, because it's about the process and having fun doing it.
Yeah, and it's almost like a sense of gratefulness as well.
Yes.
They're just grateful to be there in the room, right? And it's alluring. It's like, wait, I want to know more about them, bring them back.
Yeah.
Right? And you'll have a callback or you'll book it.
It's the same when you go on a date or you meet a friend for lunch.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a friend who's like so needy and they are desperate for your friendship. And...
I think we've all been there, done that. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you don't want that. No. It's more of a nuisance in a polite way. It's a nuisance. It's kind of annoying, right? You don't want that.
It's a collaboration and we're equal partners in this journey together.
Well, for example, let's say I'm in your class. How long does it take you and your team to assess what my blockage might be? Like, is it one session? Is it 2 sessions? And you sort of figure it out, okay, this is what's going on? Or is it like immediate?
3 things.
Okay.
How open-minded are you?
Yeah.
The fact that you have no expectations on how long it would take. And the third one, no judgment. You have to remove complete judgment.
Yeah,
the inner voice judgment about yourself, about the process, about your actions. You have to be in complete availability. And that's when the transformation happens.
Yeah.
And that's important. Those 3 principles are the ones that I require to all my students before they enter the room.
Mm-hmm.
You have to agree to those 3 principles. Otherwise, you're not ready yet to receive this master class.
Also, you don't want to waste your time either, right? And it's all for their time. And like, for example, okay, I'm going to sign up for your course. How often do your courses occur throughout the year here in Montreal? Is it twice a year?
It depends if I'm filming or not. So this year we had it 4 times.
Wow.
The next one is in Costa Rica in March 2025, which is phenomenal.
Let's talk about Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So, what's going on with this?
Well, I'm bringing 20 participants, actors, filmmakers, producers, writers, people in the film industry internationally to come to join me in Costa Rica for a conscious retreat for creativity and performance expansion. And it's going to be at Verdesana. It's hosted by the Imiloa Institute for Human Expansion.
Wow.
And it's on the Cloud Mountain at 6,000 feet above sea level.
Sounds beautiful.
It's a ecological setting. It's so beautiful, and there's a resonance, a strong magnetic field on that mountain. There's a river that crosses through it.
The first thing that comes to my mind is like a Zen peace of mind.
Yeah.
Like I picture myself being there, and I just picture inner peace.
Yeah.
Relaxation. No worry.
Exactly. Right? You remove any stress that you may bring or have in your life. You just become very present with nature. And all the exercises, it's not just me, but other retreat leaders that will work with energy techniques, mindset techniques, psychological transformation, emotional, the body, the mind, the soul, everything will be fostered in a way that you will get there and leave the retreat being completely transformed.
Yeah.
Plus, you will get a personal strategy for your next steps.
Okay, that's great. So then people who attend this program at home, they can continue with the following steps and to help enhance themselves.
And then they become part of the Chi Energy community. We have a private group. We keep going with Zoom calls and follow-ups and other initiatives.
That's
like
amazing.
I bring 5 of them. I bring 5 of them to Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival and the Marché du Film for making connections.
Yeah, and that's part of giving back. I mean, so for example, I'm going to Costa Rica, let's say, for example. What can I expect on a day-to-day basis there? Like, is it going to be a session where it'll be a couple of hours throughout the day? Is it intensive?
It's quite intensive in the mornings and the late afternoons. So you have 3 hours of free time.
Okay.
And each person gets their own eco-friendly cabin.
Nice.
With Wi-Fi. So you can be doing your self-tapes or writing or composing music or just walking in nature.
Yeah.
It's time for you to reflect and to process.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's going to be sound healing workshops, yoga, meditation, of course. Also the mindset, the removing of the blockages that are holding us back. For example, in the nervous system, traumas.
Yeah.
And all of that, you will feel like lighter in your body, emotionally lighter, more available, more present, more intentional, also with clarity of what your journey will become after this workshop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everything is included. So we have a chef who cooks farm to table, all organic, vegan food.
That's so cool.
And it's a complete detox of everything.
Wow. Yeah, it's a complete spiritual journey.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing right now. And it sounds absolutely amazing and beautiful. Why Costa Rica? Because maybe you had other options, but why there in particular?
It came about because the Imiloa Institute is pretty advanced in hosting these types of events with the top world leaders in different disciplines. But they didn't have somebody for the film industry professionals.
Really?
So I met with Jack Sassville, who is the co-founder and CEO of the Miloa Institute, and over Zoom, we agreed that this would be a great idea to bring the film industry professionals to one place, and also to build community, because then the connections you make, they're for life. You will spend 5 days, 6 days, 5 nights together with all these people from different cities and countries. And it's so incredible to be able to give yourself permission and allow yourself to do this transformative work. Because our lives go so fast, and we're in the city, and we're always chasing something or working all the time.
It's true. Time goes by like this. Snap your fingers and it's another year.
And even for writers, they can bring in their script, and we can workshop it with the other students to get feedback and find a renewed inspiration. Maybe you've been blocked on certain scenes, and then the writing flows. That's what I did with my script. I brought it to Costa Rica, and wow, all the visuals that came into my consciousness, like scenes, and
it's almost like a different perspective. Like an outside perspective, but it's still the same perspective from your mind coming into this, right?
And we teach you how to channel as well, how to channel the character. So you're not in your mind anymore performing. It's the character performing through you, through your body and your voice, your eyes. We teach writers how to channel the story. So we connect to the higher realm, and that is done through different techniques of meditation, visualization, hypnosis, NLP. So it's so concentrated to really support you as an artist.
So this sounds absolutely amazing, and for anyone who's on the fence about it, they should take the opportunity to be a part of this program, because it's amazing. Where you are giving back to actors and directors and screenwriters. I know no individuals who are doing this.
And you know what? For your audience, I'm willing to give $1,000 USD to come to Costa Rica.
Is there a code that they might have to put in?
Just write to me. chienergyworkshop@gmail.com. That's my assistant's email. Very easy to remember, chienergyworkshop@gmail.com, and let us know you watch this show. And we will give you automatically $1,000 USD grant to come.
That's extremely generous and amazing. And anyone who is on the fence about this opportunity, that's going to sell them for sure to take advantage of what's being presented in front of them and take them to the next level.
Exactly. And that will pay off for their flight,
Exactly.
So because it's not everybody has the means to come to Costa Rica for 6 days. But many people go to the south for vacation at the Club Med.
Mexico and all that.
For a resort, all-inclusive is the same price. But now you're getting a certification, and you get a transformation and a whole community of filmmakers, actors.
It's all a win from my perspective. It's networking, hanging out with like-minded individuals, growing together. And, that's a personal experience that you'll never forget.
Oh my God, it's for life.
Exactly. It's a life experience, and it's something incredible. I want to take it back a little bit. So how did you get into Chi Energy? Because, I would never imagine, an individual like you inspired to be a director, and you started taking those manifestation steps. But what happened that one morning or the night where you decided, I want to do Chi Energy?
There was a moment that became very clear to me. I've always used energy with actors without knowing that I was doing that.
So what do you mean? Like through casting or?
Not in casting, but when I was working with actors on my own films, if they were hurting or, they were stressed out or whatever, I would see it and sense it. I'm a clairvoyant and clairsentient.
Me too. Oh yeah.
So you know when somebody and you know where in their body that energy is stuck. It's not flowing. So I would use my hands to remove whatever was blocking them, It was so organic, you know, I wasn't even thinking about it. And it's when I made the Ceramic Tango, one of my shorts, that a cameraman was filming the making of. And we showed the making of at the premiere of the film. And somebody came to me and said, "Hey, are you a Reiki master?" And I said, "What is Reiki?" I had no idea, never heard the word before. So the next day I Googled the word Reiki, and I found, oh my God, I found out I was already doing that with my actors.
Wow. Without
working with
energy, right?
Without being aware of it was a thing. So I went on a journey to learn about it, to get certifications, to find mentors, and to just build my curriculum so I could test it on myself and test it on my students and on set, and realizing that this is a real thing. When you become aware of your energy and your mindset, you can really design it in a way that will serve your intentions. So I created this curriculum, and now I certified people using different modalities in a combination and a process that really supports performance and creativity and storytelling.
It's amazing how that all connects to, you know, actors and directors, how that energy just sort of, it coincides, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I find that extremely interesting.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's where you started, you know, just subconsciously doing those acts, and then it became something much more than I guess what you'd ever have imagined, maybe, because you didn't know what Reiki meant, or
well, I was just called to do it because I was talking to people about it, and they said, "You should do a workshop." And I said, "Okay, I'll do a workshop." And it was full. My first workshop in Montreal in 2017, it was packed. And I had no clue. It was only 4 hours, like introducing some concepts that I was using on set. And then people said, "What's next? We want to learn more from you." And then it became a weekend workshop, and then a retreat. And now it's all this whole program.
Yeah, it's a huge program, an international program now, right? Which is, it's mind-blowing, but it's amazing at the same time.
So I bridge chi energy awareness with industry awareness, and together, oh my God, it's explosive.
So, and for your own projects, you bring the chi energy process to your own projects to heighten the performances of your actors and everybody else on set, I would imagine, right? And the results speak for themselves. Award-winning, you know, commercial success.
Yes, it just creates more harmony and peace on set, and more a collaborative space without judgment. And you know, when people become tired, upset, or frustrated, judgment will be triggered very fast. And that creates toxic situations because people don't see the whole picture. They are in their mind believing their version of what is. When you remove judgment, you transform it into curiosity.
That's right,
And then you are open to receive information that will explain why things are. There's not right or wrong, there's only cause and effect. So if you change the cause, the effect will be different. So that's how you have to manage your set, or whatever collaboration you have. Even as an actor, there's not a right way to perform or a wrong way. It's just, if I make that choice, I will get this result, this outcome. But if I let go of the judgment in my mind and I just allow the character, the energy of this archetype to go through me, through my energy channels, you just perform with ease, with flow.
Not overthinking it.
Just you are it. And it becomes something that is authentic and real and present.
Would that come with consistency? If you were to apply that energy to your performances as an actor? You know, I'm an actor, so like for consistency, that would help, I would imagine, right? Having that sort of being in the moment.
Yes, it's a choice to let go. There's only one choice you can make as an actor, is to let go.
Yeah.
That's it. You
care.
cannot command the action. You have to let it flow as it comes. Like when you are walking in the street, you're not thinking, oh, in 3 steps, I'm going to turn right. No, you just turn right in the moment. You just go.
Yeah.
You're reacting to whoever other
walking with you.
Yeah, or the traffic or the lights. You're reacting. You're not managing actions.
Absolutely.
And actors believe they have to make choices. The only choice is to let go of the choices.
And to be fair, a lot of that comes from acting teachers who say you have to make choices, right? Yeah. So from some of my experience, that's exactly what a teacher would say was, oh, you need to make a choice and stick with it and go with it.
And that's becoming rigid because the director might bring you somewhere completely different.
And it's happened quite a bit, actually. When you go on set, you do an audition and then they want it this way. And you're like, whoa, wait, that wasn't how it was for the audition, right? Yeah. So you get thrown for a loop.
Yes. And that's an energy blockage in the sacral area.
Yeah.
Connected to the solar plexus, because it's so rigid. It's almost like, you're holding it there and like you cannot move, right?
Yeah, you're wiggling.
You have to be malleable. You have to allow it to be in the present moment, and the direction of that you receive from whether the casting director or the director, you have to let it go and just channel what it means energetically.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The best performances I've witnessed in my career behind the monitor on set that made me cry, they were when the actor, between action and cut, was so present. And when I said, I forgot to say cut. They kept going. It was so present in the moment. And eventually the cameraman starts, moving. Okay, we are cutting. Yeah. And I asked the actor, what did you just do? And they said, I have no clue. I don't remember.
Really? Wow.
And it was so incredible. That's a true performance.
Yeah. It's almost mesmerizing.
Yeah.
That's a way to put it. Right?
And when you work with energy, you get there quickly on command because you let go of the decision making. You are just being it.
Yeah.
And you lose yourself. You abandon yourself. Channeling the character. It's the character making those decisions.
Now, that's something.
It's not you.
No, it's like an alter ego you become taking like over, right?
Yeah. You become the marionette, the puppet that is being guided by the energy of the character.
Yeah, and it starts doing its thing, and then you're over, and you're, whoa, what happened?
So how we do it in the workshops is that we work energetically, step by step. It's a process.
Start from the top, bottom?
It depends. Okay. It depends on the intention, but the intention is always on top, and you bring it down, you bring it higher, and then you keep the open channel.
Yeah.
And you will see, even I've seen actors before, they connect.
Yeah.
Their eyes flicker a little bit like this because now they are connected. They're channeling.
Wow,
But it doesn't look like that on camera. But they are just being, even the voice. I've seen actors who take the accent of a foreign character they are playing without having ever spoken that language.
Wow.
Or their physicality transforms. Like you believe they are from another culture.
Yeah.
Just because they are channeling.
Isn't that something though?
That's
amazing. Yeah.
And I've witnessed that so many times. Even during a table read, sometimes you would get a friend actor who's not from the ethnicity of the character just because you need to read through the lines.
You need to have a fill-in.
And they, boom, the accent comes out. They have never heard that accent before.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is
it's channeling.
Really, really, really amazing.
It's connecting to the higher realm, the quantum field.
All the energy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I do have a few more questions before you wrap up. Unfortunately, it's already time. But, okay, so when it comes to self-tapes, do you prefer when individuals send a self-tape, audition, or do you prefer that they don't audition and you trust this actor because you personally know them? And you know what their energy is, and that's the reason why you'd hire them? What do you think?
All of the above.
All of the above? So you do like auditions?
I love watching self-tapes. I
You do?
love it, and I watch every single one of them. It's tedious, and sometimes it gets really boring.
Yeah. Unless you're interested in it, then it's not boring.
But the discovery of talents is my passion.
Yeah.
I just love, like, some actors I have never heard of because they are possibly they just graduated from theater school, or they are not acting professionally yet.
Yeah.
And I have met so many wonderful talents that way. I also love to hear my writing in somebody else's, with their own voice, how they interpret it. So it's good for me as feedback on the writing.
And then you can make adjustments in between before to the shoot there.
That's one of the benefits, of course. But the discovery of new talents, new faces, I love allowing them to make their own choices without my intervention, because I could see what works and what doesn't. Some actors, they play it exactly like the text, and then it becomes predictable. But there's this odd audition that made it so much different. It was a drama, it became a comedy, or it was a comedy, they made it with gravitas.
Yeah.
And they had range, or they brought me into this roller coaster ride of emotions with the same text. And I will always remember that actor.
See? And this is exactly
they
what
take
I try.
Risks.
Exactly, and I bring awareness to that to every single actor, actress who shows up here, and I tell them I'm one of those actors who doesn't do a cliche audition. I'm always going to go so far left field for that second or third take that I'm not worried about the risk.
Yeah.
Because you need to see something other than just a cliche take and an optional take, right? You want to explore, and I think that's so important when it comes to acting, is having that chance to explore the character.
Yes.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
And then when I invite them to meet with me on the second audition is the callback. I'm
So
there.
in person,
and then we have fun. I usually take 60 to 90 minutes on a callback.
Really?
It's insane.
So on your part, that's tedious, but it's good for you for doing that.
Yeah, because then we can do me your first take. I'm not going to say anything, and then let's do it this way. And then I bring them completely to the opposite. That it will never be that ever. No. But I just want to see their range, and then and we start having fun.
Yeah, that's the key. Fun.
Oh my God, it's the key.
Yeah.
And actors love it, because when I was casting Montréal Girls, I was told by so many actors in the room, like, no one works like this. Yeah. You take so much time with us. That's so cool,
Yeah, fun fact. I auditioned for the lead role in that.
Oh, you did?
I had no beard at the time. I was a very sort of new actor.
Okay.
And it was a lot to memorize. It was 11 pages, and I had another audition through my agent. And
Did we meet?
No.
Oh, okay.
We didn't, no.
Okay.
I wasn't a strong performance. When I look back at it now, I'm like, okay, I could have done it this way, right? I was sort of fairly new with acting.
Yeah.
But I still remember it, and I still remember how, specifically in the text, you were very detail-orientated with certain aspects, and then other parts you'd leave it blank. Whereas, like, you wanted the actor to become the character, to play around with it, which is a great thing. I like working with directors, or I have a director, a friend who's a director, who he allows a lot of improvisation. So he says, okay, here's sort of the context of the scene. Now be the character and deliver the sort of same context, but being the character.
Absolutely.
And he lives by it. He loves it. Right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's very interesting. But yeah, so for Montreal Girls there, had that audition, and I'm sure you had a blast with everyone through the callbacks, as you mentioned, right? You got to play around, and good for you.
I just love coming from a casting background. It's one of the perks we get, to spend time with actors. Yeah. And then you ask, do you only have coffee with them or book them directly? When I have a relationship with an actor, I offer them the role. I know what to expect.
Well, and that's it, right?
And we just talk about the...
Yeah, you sit down for coffee. This is the role. This is what I'm expecting. This is where the story's going to go. Of course, and that makes sense.
And most of the time, I would have written the part for them.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So I already know, like
they're already in mind, and you sort of know.
It's for them. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you two last questions.
Yes.
So one of the questions I would like to ask is, where do you see yourself? Let's say a long-term goal. Do you want to have a film that's going to be Oscar worthy, where you're going up there to receive the Best Director Oscar, or where do you see yourself in terms of your career as a producer or director?
As a producer director, is to continue to inspire and empower audiences worldwide. So to have bigger budgets and more distribution potential with a P&A.
Yeah.
Which means is the marketing budget to make my films aware.
To get it out there.
Get it out there, because it takes that, and to work with bigger names so I can get international distribution even more at a larger scale. Because my intention is to, even if one person in the audience watches my films and make a different decision to better themselves or society, that's really what I'm looking after through the stories that I tell. And another dream, and I'm slowly building it up, is to have my own Chi Energy Institute.
Wow.
So I can have full-time students and really transform the community and also the industry, so it becomes a standard. We have intimacy coordinators, stunt coordinators. Why couldn't we have an energy awareness coordinator to bring harmony, to bring a different mindset of positivity and also empowerment and mental health?
I'm going to manifest it for you. You're going to be the pioneer for this.
Thank
you.
You're
going to be the first one to make it a thing on set.
Yeah.
And that way it's almost mandatory, but it's also optional for producers to say, you know what, we want a Chi coordinator on set. They'll pay for you or whoever you have amongst your group, and then they'll go on set and perform that. And I think, I would like to manifest that for you.
Thank you.
So when that happens, come back to this interview. I think it's beautiful.
It has to be a line item approved by the institutions in Canada, which means Telefilm, Sodec, Ontario.
All three of them have to approve of it? Or
well,
is it only
it has
one?
to be an eligible line item. Now it's mandatory to have an intimacy coordinator or a stunt coordinator at the ACTRA UDA level.
Yeah.
The
the unions.
The unions of actors. Yeah. Make it mandatory to have somebody like me to come and train cast and crew. So we have the budget to pay a person that I could certify to bring that level, that standard of awareness on how to collaborate and manage yourself, manage your energy, and make it a more safe space for mental health, for
absolutely
everything.
Of course. Yeah,
it helps
just a well-being, right?
The wellness element.
Yeah.
Even just one master class before you start the production, but it costs money. You need a studio, you need to pay the people who are there. Yeah. Now it's on a volunteer basis. I offer it for free.
Which is amazing.
Whoever comes, they all want to come anyway, because I attract that type of people. Yeah. But it's all free. We don't have it's not in the budget.
No.
So when the unions, the institutions, the guilds make it a standard, it will become a standard.
I mean, your selling point, from my perspective, from hearing about everything right now, from reading about your program, would be the well-being benefits and also the results of what happens to actors when they go through it. You can do it before and after, and simple self-tapes, right? Have a monologue, have a short scene, do the before performance, and then after doing it, and show the performances and compare the two. I mean, you have a lot of selling points with it, so it's just a matter of time.
Yes.
It really is.
I truly believe I'm on my purpose.
Absolutely.
With my intention, and it will become a thing for everyone when society is ready.
Never give up.
Oh, I won't.
I know you won't. I know. So the last question before we wrap up is, okay, I want to cater specifically to women and girls, younger girls, women that are your age, my age, whatever. How can they find similar success to what you have, or they're on the fence of becoming or wanting to be a director or a producer? How can you help bring them off that fence and say, you know what, go for your goals, believe in yourself. You're a strong, independent woman. You can do this.
What worked for me, I can share as a woman, a Latina, is not to see myself as lesser because I'm a woman or Latina. It's always to see myself at the same level as everybody else. So even if somebody makes a comment because I'm a woman, just whatever, that's their problem. You keep going.
Don't take it personally.
Never take it personally, because it has nothing to do with you. So that has helped me since my teens. I have been very aware of that. That I'm a woman, who cares? I'm still going to be successful. I'm going to do my thing. Equal pay was a challenge throughout my career, but I never gave permission to anybody who hired me to pay me less than the equal position
of what you were working.
Yes, taken by a male. I always asked before signing the contract, how is my male colleague being paid? And I had to make sure. And sometimes they told me a little more. I said, well, I'm going to be doing the same job and perhaps delivering higher results.
Even more.
Because I always over deliver. So you got to pay me the same, or I never said more, but the same.
No, but same or
and it has always happened.
Because I think you're also standing your ground too, and you're not letting people walk over you.
Exactly.
And you know, I'm trying to use you as this public figure to help promote that for females in the industry. Right? They can't give up, and they can't take it personal when someone has their own opinion, because you need to have that mental toughness as well. And I think that's part of the chi energy, that energy that you bring. It's a certain defensive mechanism that you have. So without a further ado, it's an absolute pleasure for your
it's
time,
a pleasure.
Patricia.
Thank you so much.
And I hope to see you soon in the future. And thank you for inspiring so many individuals and for giving back in the industry. There's not enough people that are like you in the industry. So keep doing it. There's so much to be proud of, and I'm wishing you nothing but the best in success and everything that you want in life.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's another episode of Rising Stars. I'm your host, Sean Watt. This production sponsored by Urban Eats MTL. I'll catch you guys on the next episode.